Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, everyone. So good to be back. Just admitting more people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Obviously on a Monday, I do all the analysis with you. Friday, quarter to 11. Okay. This is 40%. 50. Imagine. All right, what's to come for this week? Obviously, we had a beautiful trending day. Trending week actually last week on Euro USD. And when we see such a big upwards push, I want to see a correction within the markets, just at least coming back towards value area high, and that's why we'll see um, our last take profit is just above value area high. So I'm looking for this turnaround back in towards this massive area. But we do have a few high volume areas as well as low volume areas, which actually might be really interesting when we reach those levels. Um, and you also see that one of our first take profit is actually inside of this high volume area. If we do see a reaction and a rejection and we push higher, I just don't want to be part of it. I want to be out of that trade. Okay, just quickly see something here. Mhm. Okay, so yeah, if we bounce off of this massive value area, high volume node over here, value area, high volume area over here. If we see a bounce off of this, I know I've at least reached my take profit one, but these are like magnets for the markets. And obviously, we might see a beautiful reaction of a value area high, but that's why we want to be out of this trade before we see the reaction of a value area high. Okay, of the previous week. So yeah, quite interesting stuff going on currently. Euro USD was on a beautiful rally. I've literally caught the bottom of the previous week. Like this trade, it's some of those trades where you just wish, oh shucks, I could have stayed in longer. Let's say you did stay in longer until NFP. I just want to quickly show you something. And let's say until NFP, let's say until this high. That's a 1 to 13 risk reward ratio trade. Okay. The odds of you getting this is very unlikely. But it's just overall really happy with how everything played out. With only this small analysis yesterday. Oh, yesterday. Last week, Monday. Okay. So yeah, I've literally caught the bottom, didn't ride it all the way, which is fine because it actually, well, yeah, I could, yeah, it allowed me to make a bigger trade open on US and JPY, which also played out really good. But just a beautiful, like I'm really happy with how it played out, and you can see that the markets are starting to take a bit more shape. Um, it took me a while to, just get that groove or yeah, um, the past couple of 3 months, let's say end of November, I barely traded December. January and February, it was really tough months, where you know, I literally fought to just stay above break even, bringing in 1.5, 1.6% returns on the month, which isn't that good, because, it's not what we strive for when we trade, because then I could have literally kept my money in the bank. Um, and I wouldn't have, yeah, I would not have had that stress and whatsoever. But it's part of it. We had a new presidential election through the markets, around, um, and Yeah, it's just about that first 100 days after the inauguration, which is a really crucial period for the markets and also for businesses. Um, and we obviously want to take advantage out of those volatile moves, but it's really, really difficult. So what I'm looking for is just a nice retracement to the downside. Okay, balance of trade did not update. Quickly see what's going on over here. Uh, okay, German trade balance came in at 16 billion, down from 20.7 billion. And the German exports came in at minus 2.5%, down from 2.9%. Then we had some good also like the in German industrial production month over month. The previous was minus 2.4% and it's currently 2%. And the German industrial production year over year, the previous was minus 3.12% and it's now currently at minus 1.49%. So some positive things, some negative things that might have an influence on um, the euro. But I'm still looking for that move to the downside back towards value area high. Okay, I wasn't too happy with how the market stayed around after NFP. We barely had any move, which is interesting. You usually see these type of market moves when we look at CPI or even PPI. More PPI, but not really NFP or CPI. So it was interesting to see this on NFP. So yeah, looking at Euro USD, would really love to see that retracement back towards value area high. That's what I looked for when I was entering into this trade around, it was like around year-ish. I believe it was around year, somewhere around year. Um, so yeah, still in this trade, currently in the profits. If I do see again something like this, I don't think I'll stick to this trade or stay in this trade for too long. Um, so yeah, I would really love to see that move down towards value area high on Euro USD today. Okay, jumping to GBP USD, also just a beautiful move to the upper side. And if we look at the volume profile, um, also take it to 9, quarter to 11. Okay, so this is actually a really interesting volume profile because you'll see the difference. Euro USD's fair value area is down here, but GBP USD's fair value is up here. So when you get really good with volume profiles, you'll see that whenever we close inside the fair value area after a nice trending day like this, a trending week like this, and we break below the opening price, okay, or we break below a previous low with a candle, um, then we tend to see a massive rally to the downside. Okay, coming back to one of these high volume areas. So it might be really interesting because this is Euro USD is showing me a downwards move and GBP USD is proving a downwards move according to how you should analyze with volume profiles. So whenever you close inside of the value area and we close it below a low, so not just a wick, and we close below a previous low, which is this one, um, at fair value, at point of control. So if we close below this guy, then it's just tickets. Okay. I'll actually look for a sell as well on this guy then. Nope. There we go. We're gonna close below this one, see a nice retracement, see a nice reaction. I'll definitely look for a downwards move, perhaps back to one of these high volume nodes. Okay, take profit one perhaps over here, take profit two and take profit three. I'll definitely see which one. Well, yeah, let's first get over here and break through this previous low and look for that reaction before I look at anything else. Okay. But yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful move as well on GBP USD. Jumping to USD JPY, okay, also quite a decent downwards move that we had. I also looked for a better sell at the start of the week, but then I actually just, waited patiently and also got a really decent move to the downside. Beautiful reaction of this low volume area. And this is what we did want to see last week, Friday. We did want to see this reaction inside of this low volume area and look for the trade to the downside. So really, really, really happy with how that played out. And if you look at the volume profile, I should extend that one. Monday, 2 o'clock to Friday, quarter to 11. I thought I did drag this out. Okay, so kind of balanced market, which is also quite decent for USD JPY because it also is another indication of we want to come back towards the fair value area. I'm not too happy with trading balanced volume profiles, because the reason is we might push back up towards this price level, and then we might just see a range. So I don't want to see, yeah, I think, mm, yeah, I keep my eyes on USD JPY, but I'm just not too comfortable with looking at this balanced volume profile. Okay, so that's it for USD JPY. Jumping to gold. Okay, now there's a man that has a big smile about gold. Um, yeah, okay, big is actually underestimating, or what do you call it? Uh, 3 o'clock to Friday, quarter to 11. Oh, come on. Okay. So last week Friday also looked for a reaction to the downside. Okay, we did build up volume at this price level, but then we also got a nice upwards push. We looked at two things. We looked at the retracement back towards fair value area and even a new high. And we also looked for a reaction off of this high volume area over here, low volume area over here. You see this little gap in between these two high volume nodes, that we used as a support and a resistance. And we actually used it again as a resistance, and then we just didn't care really much more. We did use it later as a support again, as you can see over here. But yeah, last week we really had a ranging week from Tuesday. It wasn't the best price action that I've seen on gold in quite a while. Um, but something here is standing out, and I do want you to see this. Okay, so you see the previous week, the previous week, we had a smallish volume profile. And the week after that, we had a kind of big volume profile. And then the new week and then the previous week, last week, we again had a smaller volume profile. So this is actually like a you know, we are making ready for expansion. Okay. This is basically what it means. We are literally making ready for a massive breakout or a massive expansion. Um, and you really do want to be part of the expansion. It's just now we need to know and just wait patiently to see whether we are going to get an expansion to the upper side, perhaps reaching the 2980 level, or we're going to see expansion to the downward side, breaking down below 2833, okay, around this low of the previous week. So I'm definitely looking forward for this expansion on gold. This is why I won't just give out analysis now, because I first want to see to which side we are going to expand, because you definitely want to be part of what's to come on gold. Okay. And then jumping to Brent, also had a really decent week the previous week. Also wanted to look for this downwards play. Okay. Sorry, there's a guy with a leaf blower. So just tell me if it's too loud. Quarter to 11. Okay. Also, less more balanced week that we had on Brent. Although we had a decent move to the downside, we still had a decent move. Yeah, we still have a balanced, sort of balanced volume profile. But again, look at the size difference between the previous week's volume profile and the previous week's volume profile. Okay, it's massive. It's like almost twice as large. Um, so whenever we speak about it like yeah, in this way, we talk about the range, okay? The range is much larger in which price traded than the previous week. Okay, so you could look horizontal line 75297. So the previous week, we only traded inside of $3 worth of Brent. And then last week, we traded in between 7.4 and 6.8. Okay, so it's $4 instead of okay, now it's not almost double, but the price range is quite much significantly, yeah, much significant larger than we had the previous week. Okay. So I'm looking forward to a nice retracement as well on Brent crude, pushing us back towards this low volume area, and then I'll perhaps look for reactions of this low volume area, or perhaps if we push even higher into the previous week's fair value area, where we also had kind of a lot of volume. Yeah, a lot of people, institutions interested in price at this level as well, the previous week. Okay. So yeah, that's going to be it for this session. It's good to be back. What a lovely session. Really great session. GBP USD is the market that I'm really keen on looking to what's going to happen, as well as obviously Euro USD. I just want to reach at least take profit one to minimize my risk, move my stop loss a bit lower. I don't believe I will take it back towards break even. I think I'll perhaps move it to a minus 0.5% loss instead of a minus 1% loss. So yeah, because this move could be could be really fast, faster than you expect. And yeah, I'm really glad that I've actually looked at this before NFP. I didn't expect NFP to be like this. I expected a bigger move, like move to the downside or a move to the upper side. According to my analysis, NFP did look really good for the US dollar. And the unemployment rate as well, but the unemployment rate actually didn't come in too bad because it actually went up, and that influenced the dollar also negatively, and then NFP influenced the dollar positively. Um, and then we had this bit of a range. So this is what you need to see if unemployment goes up and NFP goes down, or no, if and NFP goes up. So if unemployment and NFP goes up, both go up, then we see a bit of a range. And if both of them go down, we also see a bit of a range. But if you go look at the past 2 months, NFP's data, you'll see that unemployment went down and NFP also went down. You expected to see something like this, but we actually just trended like the whole freaking time. So tricky fundamentals, not going to lie. But yeah, that's why you have stop losses in place before you enter a fundamental event, okay? So I didn't expect this move. I expected a more cleaner move to the downside. We didn't get that, but at least we didn't get stopped out. And the NFP came in really good for the dollar. Okay. But there you go. Thank you so much to all of you who participated. As always, it is much appreciated. And then I will see you later for our New York pre-market analysis session. All right. Cheers, everyone. Take care and be blessed.